Okay, it says the school is located at a grid point -1, 2, and we know that Jordan's home is along the street, represented by that line. What is the shortest distance Jordan could possibly live from the school? Okay, keyword, shortest distance. Remember, shortest distance is from a point to a line, has to be the perpendicular line. So I'm just going to draw a small little coordinate plane to represent what's going on here. So we know -1, 2 is in this general location right here. We know that if the line crosses down here at -3 somewhere and it's a positive slope. So we've got something along that line. All right, now what it's asking for is what is the shortest distance, essentially what it's asking for, what is the shortest distance from this point to this line? In other words, what is the closest place that Jordan could possibly live? It would have to be the perpendicular line. So what you're trying to find here, people, is you're trying to find this perpendicular line, and then we're looking for the place where these lines intersect so that we can use the distance formula to find the distance between this point and this point. So the very first step is to write this perpendicular, the equation of this perpendicular line. So we know that the new slope is going to be y equals -2/3 x. We don't know what the new y-intercept is, so we're just going to say plus b. However, we know that this line, the equation of this line, we know that it passes through this point. So we can use -1, 2 to solve for b. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug 2 in for y. I've got -2/3. I'm going to plug -1 in for x. There's plus b. So now I have 2 equals -2/3, positive 2/3, plus b. Bring my -2/3 over, -2/3, and that gives me the value for b is equal to 1 1/3, or I could say 4/3. So b is equal to 4/3. So now I have my new equation. I know that my perpendicular line is y equals 2/3 -2/3 x plus 4/3. Perfect. That's this black line right over here. Okay? So we want to know though what the intersection of these two lines is. And to find that, we're going to set those two equations equal to each other. We're going to set this equation equal to this equation to help us find that coordinate right here. Okay, so -2/3 x plus 4/3 equals 3/2 x minus 3. So this is going to let us solve for x. I'm going to get rid of all of the fractions by multiplying everything by the least common denominator of all of my denominators. My denominators are 3 and 2. The least common multiple of that is 6. So I'm going to multiply everything by 6. Okay? It's just going to make my life much, much easier. If I multiply -2/3 times 6, my 3's cancel. That leaves me with -4x. Multiply 6 times 4/3. That leaves me, the 3 and the 6 cancels. That gives me 2 times 4, which is 8. Over here, when I multiply 3/2 times 6, that gives me 9x, and then, of course, minus 18. Do you see how much easier this is to work with than what these two equations were earlier? I recommend always canceling your fractions. So now I'm just going to solve for x. Plus 4x plus 4x, and that gives me, that gives me 8 equals 13x minus 18. Bring the 18 over here. Bring the 18. That gives me 26 is equal to 13x. X is equal to 2, people. So now all I have to do is finish finding out what y is equal to. Now I can plug this x equals 2 into this equation, or I can plug it into this equation. I will get the same value for y because what I'm looking for is this intersection. So I'm going to plug it in up here because then my 2's will cancel. All right, so if I plug y equals 3/2 times 2 minus 3, let's see what it spits out at us for y. Well, these 2's cancel, so we get 3 minus 3. Y is equal to 0. So now we have 2 points. We have this coordinate and we have this coordinate. We can use that for the distance formula. And that is what we were looking for. We were looking for the shortest distance. All right? So now all you have to do to finish it out is use the distance formula. Okay? So that's going to be the x values, it's going to be 2 minus -1. So you got 2 minus -1 squared, right? And then we have 0 minus 2 squared. So that gives us 9 plus 4, which is equal to approximately, well, it's the square root of 13. So that is going to give us approximately 3.61 miles. I think it was miles. Well, units. We don't know that it's miles. Okay?